This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome back to another episode of An Anthropologist Watches Ned Fulmer and his wife eviscerate him. Wahaha, ex-wife. It's been fun. And yeah, we're doing anthropology on it. Also, I have, well, aw, he's looking sad. I didn't think I'd get him back on there, right? There we go. There you go, buddy. Look, he's got, what are they calling it? He's got diabetic eye, okay? Leave him alone. I have a ADHD timer. We're going to set it for 15 minutes. This is how this works now. You'll get used to it. I haven't. It'll go off. You'll hear it. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. We got 15 minutes. All right, let's go. All right. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you to everybody who's been enjoying the new content. I hope you all are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. This is Ned Fulmer and his wife, Ariel. And they're on Ned Fulmer's new podcast, which apparently is doing fairly well. Good for you. Good for you, Ned. I don't know if people are watching it because it's good or if people are watching it because they just like a train wreck. Column A, column B. I don't know. I haven't really paid any attention to it past this episode. This episode that has taken us 5 months to get through. We'll get there. We will get there. That's why I bought an alarm, you guys. So we are on minute 40. We're going to go through 10 minutes. Seems to be working. We are going... We're gonna watch Ariel Fulmer just tear her ex-husband apart. And it's fun. It's fun. And then the reason we're gonna do this, because I think we got 20 minutes of this left. I swear to God, we're gonna get through it in March. And then I want to look at Ned's dating profile. I want to do that next. I know it's a horrible, horrible train wreck, but I want to look at it next. Okay. I know it has nothing to do with anything other than Ned's trying to date. And look, the man's allowed to date. Okay. I just really want to look at it because I feel like I want to know. And I'm glad. Okay, look, after watching this, I'm glad that Ned is moving on. I really am. I'm like, good for you, Ned. You get out there, right? You put yourself out there. You get yourself moved on, right? Zoom tight. Zoom tight, my partner. But yeah, so I just think maybe I picked a weird way to do it. Yeah. Anyway, and I can't. There's other things I want to look at, not necessarily just Ned's dating profile, but I really want to look at Ned's dating profile. But I also want to look at some other stuff that Ned has been doing. I want to look at some of Ned's other projects, right? That he has tried to do since trying to come back to the internet. This is not the only thing he's tried to do. For those of you who are, for whatever reason, watching this for the first time, I don't know who you are, go back and watch the rest of them. If you go all the way back to the very first video in this series, I go over why we're doing this. I don't know. It's been a long time since the first video. But I do kind of go over the dark anthropology principles that we're going to be applying to the watch of this. So if you hear me talk about certain things throughout this video and you're confused, go back. And I'll try to link it at the end of this video as the recommended video for you to watch in case you're wondering. And there should be a playlist somewhere in the description for you if you are interested in watching all of these together. And I would appreciate it if you would. Also, if you guys are enjoying the format of these videos and you like the way they are put together, that's because this has been put together by my editor. And if you like my editor, you might want to watch the whole video because that's how I pay for my editor. So thank you, editor. If you guys like my editor, support the show. Yeah, we're on minute 40-ish. I'm going to back us up. So there's going to be a little bit of overlap. Not a big deal. Right. So Ned was talking about how the dream had started to fall apart for him. I'm looking at my notes. The dream had started to fall apart for him. And he was afraid to say how he felt. And because of that, I'm looking at my notes here. He had chose destructive actions. And he would always regret the pain he had caused. And we had talked about how this is strategic victimhood for him. He's trying to center himself in this conversation when in reality, this is all about Ariel. He's trying to either fully take her victimhood away from her, or he's trying to co-opt her victimhood, both of which dick moves. He's also trying to moral mask here. He's trying to use his fear and confusion as motivation, and he's trying to soften his choices here he's trying to soften the choices that he made and the betrayal that he performed by, I was so afraid and I was so confused. He's trying to mask all of that with, morals that makes it seem a little less bad. I did it because I was confused. I did it because I was afraid. I didn't know how to make a better decision. Well, dude, I got news for you. Don't. Really easy. Don't. There are lots of guys who just don't. Easy. All right. There is some ritualized deception going on here. We talked about this, and he does this through the whole podcast. There is this ritualized deception, this like mantra, this chant. He does it throughout. He does it in various different forms, but this, I will always regret it. I will always regret the pain I caused. I will always regret XYZ, but he never takes accountability, and he never admits that what he did was wrong. He regrets it. He's sorry that she feels bad, but he never regrets that he had the affair. Right? And one other thing, a lot of you have been mentioning in the comment section about the woman that he had the affair with. I don't know anything about her, and I don't want to focus on her. I mean, obviously it takes two to tango, and that's fine. I'm not talking about her because I don't know anything about her. She's not the focus of the podcast, and I don't want to drag her into this only because I don't want to get details wrong that might be important down the road. And I don't want to potentially victim blame because, again, I don't know a lot about it. And also, the two of them don't bring her up other than to say, Ariel mentions the picture of the two of them kissing. And that's really the only time she gets mentioned throughout the entire podcast. So that's why I don't bring her up at all. I think I've made one or two mentions of the fact that she existed because it's been important to the conversation. But like, as far as the details about the mistress, I believe that they were canonically, I think they were having an affair for a while. It wasn't just like a one-time thing. The reason why she's not getting mentioned more here is just because it's not currently relevant to the conversation that we are having. So I'm not dismissing her, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, she has absolutely nothing to do with anything. I'm not trying to do anything like that. It's just, as far as the conversation between Ned and Ariel in this moment, I don't even know her name, to be honest with you. The mistress just isn't an important topic right now. She might come up, and there might be at some point another time where I'll want to do another one of these. I mean, maybe there'll be like a whole Ned breakdown sometime where we'll just talk about him and the mistress. I mean, that might be fun. Because there was definitely a power dynamic there. I know she was like an employee at some point. So that might be fun to talk about. But like right now, during this and the rest of these breakdowns, she's just, I'm not trying to be like, oh, she's not important. But she's kind of not important right now to the conversation, if you kind of get my drift. I do have them sped up, which is important to know, because there's some long, awkward silences, which would have been even longer if I had not sped this up.
Choices that I made and
mumble for me, Ned. Mumble.
Actions that I took that I'll always regret. I'll always regret how much pain I caused you and other people. You know? And I'm deeply, deeply sorry. And I'll spend my whole rest of my life trying to make amends to you and to, show up differently, to lead a life of integrity and to be a father that our children can learn from. Because you did nothing to deserve this, and I completely, suddenly, violently shattered our marriage, our relationship, and like everything you knew.
That is the first time we have heard him do anything close to take responsibility for anything. He says, I will back this up because this is the first in time he has done anything close to taking responsibility for this. He says, I completely and suddenly, go for it, dude.
Shattered our
I suddenly, violently
marriage, our relationship.
shattered our marriage, our relationship, everything you knew. This is a very significant moment. And it's at 41 minutes into this hour-long interview, this hour-long podcast. He finally takes some responsibility. Still doesn't say what he did is wrong. But we're getting warmer. Right? These are not positive words, right? We're not saying what we did is positive. He never does say what he did is positive. But this is getting a little, we are at least taking responsibility for the destruction of our own marriage. All right. So he is taking a little bit of responsibility here. So that's at least happening.
And that was all my fault.
Oh, there we go. And it was all my fault. Good job.
It was all.
But was it wrong? Is what you did wrong? Can you do it?
Choices that I made.
Can you do it? Damn, it was so close. So close. So close. Look at her. He's like, yeah, I know. You're not going to say it. You're not going to admit that you're wrong.
So where do we go from here?
I mean, that's kind of how we've been, what we've been working on, I guess, over the last 3 years. We can make new promises to each other as friends.
So this is the most animated we've seen Ned this entire fucking podcast, where she says, where do we go from here? And you will see him completely watch her say, so where do we go from here? Just watch his whole body language. She just completely uncoils his whole body. Told you you'd notice this. All right, that was the first 15 minutes. We don't have any goals here, so let's go for another 15. Go.
So where do we go from here?
Now watch his body language.
I mean, that's kind of how we've been.
You just completely like. Right. So new topic.
What we've been working on, I guess, over the last 3 years. We can make new promises to each other
And now he's got his hands back in his lap again.
As friends, as co-parents. What was the thing that kind of started changing things for you?
So Ned is trying to redefine terms here. He's trying to, and he has been trying throughout this entire podcast, because we're wrapping up here. We're getting close to the end. We're getting close to the end of the podcast. Not close to the end of these. Sorry, I talk a lot. Ned is trying to control the conversation by redefining things. And we've watched him through this entire podcast. Now, remember, this is 5 months ago. Ned uses language throughout this entire podcast that makes me personally, think that he has never gotten over the fact that Ariel wants nothing to do with him, at least romantically. The thing is they have children. I don't know how many they have. I think 3. And they co-parent, or at least they're trying to co-parent, which, cool. I don't have kids. I don't worry about it. So Ned apparently still wants to be part of the kids' lives. She seems to be okay with it. So they are trying now to navigate what that looks like now that they are separated. And Ariel wants nothing to do with him romantically. I suspect from some of the things that she has kind of said throughout this podcast, she might be seeing somebody. Maybe. But Ned uses language that not only makes it sound like he hasn't quite let go of her as his wife, but that he definitely seems to think that there's potential for them to get back together, or at least that they have never separated. And this here, he's like, this new promises and him trying to redefine certain terms here. He's trying to set up a redemption arc. And I don't think he's been paying attention, because she has been very frank about the fact that there is no redemption arc for him. At some point, she even said, like, he's like, I don't remember if he asked, will you ever forgive me? Or if she set the question up, but she responded with, hell no. So that was pretty upfront.
Maybe just time. Time and, I don't know, courage. And I mentioned making those authentic relationships, like finding those real friends.
Oh.
And they're like, I don't care that your life is messy. I really like you for who you are. I see your joy. I like every part of you.
So there's another thing that Ned did. I needed to make sure that we had gotten there. There's another thing that Ned does here where he positions his commitment as a gift to her, but it's got strings attached. And this is a transactional altruism in action here. Like he is positioning his renewed commitment to her, but it is transactional, right? He wants something from her as well. And you don't see her buy into it, right? And it's part of this transformational, this transformative redemption arc that he is trying to set up. And you heard her say it's going to take time, which is look, people tell you it's going to take time. It's a blow off. It's 90% of the time it's a blow off. They just want you to go away. So 90% of the time, not every time. So basically, she's just telling him, no, it's not going to happen. And then she says something to the effect of like, and courage. So she's trying to give him a non-committal answer as to basically when they're going to get back together. Because that's kind of what he was asking there. He's trying to set up that redemption arc. When are we going to get back together? And she's like, never. This is the polite never answer, as opposed to the hell no answer that she gave him earlier in the podcast. Which again, to me, he's not listening. He's not listening to her. I don't think he's been listening to her this entire podcast. So it doesn't matter what she says, what she's been saying, or how she's been saying it, because he's not reacting to things she's saying. In the time that she is saying them, he's not reacting to things, and he doesn't seem to be remembering things that she said prior. So, and now here we are we're getting close to the wrap up of this podcast, and he's asking her effectively the same questions, just worded differently, and she's giving him the same answers, just worded differently.
Yeah.
And I want to be a part of your life. Like, don't push me away,
Mm. It was a real moment of kind of discovering who your real, true, authentic friends are, and
just talking about her friends,
cherishing that, and those people that you can kind of be completely yourself with.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not just seeing a one-dimensional version of you.
Yeah, totally.
When did things start to feel a little more safe for you?
So he was when we came back and she said, "Don't push me away." She was talking about friends, not Ned. That wasn't aimed at Ned. They were talking about friendships and authentic friendships, and Ned softly tries to reframe that. I don't think he pushed too hard, but he definitely tried to reframe that in a way that kind of included himself This one was a little soft, so like I'm pushing it a little bit here. I'll be frank with you guys, but he does kind of push this one a little bit. He tries to weasel his way in a little bit with some strategic victimhood, trying to subtly recenter the wound on himself. Don't push me away. Authentic friendships, people who will never leave you. He tries with some parasitic intimacy here with true friends. He's trying to blur the line, blur the boundaries between the two of them. And he tries a little bit of moral masking, trying to redefine the concept of authentic friends as the relationship between the two of them. They're authentic friends. Again, he hasn't let her go. She's done with him. The language she uses when she talks to him is completely different than the language she uses when he talks about her.
I think as I just got more comfortable talking to people about like what happened, and they just seemed to not care.
Yeah.
Like it just wasn't a big deal.
It is kind of funny. It's like the whole, internet and people making TikToks seem to care so much. And then you meet anyone in real life and it's like everyone has some way to relate to some sort of a cheating story.
Just like all the parents at Wes's school, or, they're like, either they don't know or they don't give a flying fuck. They're like, yeah, who cares? They're like, it's one of many scandals. Like, also,
I was going to make some snarky remark about no one should care because it's not that big of a deal.
years ago, like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
like that's kind of how we feel. They're like, they're sort of like,
right, because when you're in
who
that school
cares?
environment, like there's a bunch of different types of families and parents, and some people are
Nobody
together, some
cares.
people aren't, and
Yeah, and I mean, I think if this had been, I think I talked about this way at the beginning again. If this hadn't been so incredibly public, this would have just been, any other divorce, right? It was only so traumatic and so public because it was Ned Fulmer and his wife, right? Because, it's like when celebrities break up. Who cares? But yet everybody and the fucking brother needs to know about that so-and-so and so-and-so are broken up. I don't care. How does that affect me? But because they're celebrities, the whole world needs to know. And it's the same kind of thing here. But like, you don't know if your neighbor 3 doors down and 3 blocks up broke up. You don't know. You probably don't even know their names, right? So that's kind of the thing. If Ned and Ariel had just been like 2 people, no one would care. But, we're 3 years after the fact now. They've been in therapy for how long? And we're still 5 months ago having a fucking podcast about this. And now I'm making videos about it because I find Ned fascinating. Also, I like your wife. I like Ariel. I wish her the best. I hope she finds someone, male or female, who actually can put up with her, not put up with her, who can actually keep up with her. Because boy, howdy, you're just a slimy little dude, aren't you? Then he grows a mustache, you guys. He grows like a 70s porn stash, and I can't wait to show you. He just looks slimy.
I'm sure every marriage or
I know I shouldn't be so biased like that, but I just saw a picture of him with his damn mustache today, and I'm just like, are you kidding? Are you trying to look awful?
relationship has a story as to how
Right.
it breaks down.
like, it just gives you so much perspective.
Yeah.
It gives you so much perspective to just be in a group of people where nobody cares.
Yeah.
And it gives you, honestly, I think that is what gives me the courage to just be like, you know what? It's okay.
Right.
I'm gonna be okay.
See, so that's interesting. So she says it's good to be in a group of people. I forget exactly her wordings, but basically she's like, it's good to be in a group of people where everybody's experienced this because it lets me think it's going to be okay. And I think that's why things like group therapy works. Because the concept is, you're in a group of people who have had a similar experience to each other. And so you can all sit around and like compare experiences and, trade stories and stuff like that. But that's the thing is like it softens the harm because you have a group of people that can compare and contrast, right? You create a group setting, and so you have like what's the word I'm looking for? You have a small culture group that can handle a situation together, right? And this is what Ariel is finding, right? Ariel is finding groups of people that she can relate to in order to move on. And that's probably why she's doing better than Ned is, because it's easier. It's easier to find a group of people who have been, I hate to use the word victimized, but it's, who have been on the receiving end of cheating than it is to find a sympathetic group, there we go, of people who have been the cheaters, right? And so I think that's why Ned has this nice snarly face right now talking about this topic. That's a lovely snarl you've got there, Ned. Because I don't think Ned is finding the same community acceptance or communal acceptance or even just support group that she is finding, right? As far as I understand, this is just me understanding, Ned pretty much lost everything because of this affair. Like from my understanding, he was basically fired from the Try Guys, or he was asked to leave the Try Guys. Yeah. All right, where were we? He was like fired from the Try Guys. He had to, he got divorced. And just a whole bunch of other things that didn't work out for him. I've got this is Chai from OG Slimes. And so like he lost a whole lot more than Ariel did, right? Personally and financially. And I don't know about financially. I mean, I would think if you lost your job, that'd be pretty hard hit financially. But anyway, yeah, so going back to finding a sympathetic group, it's easier for Ariel to find support and sympathy than it's going to be for Ned, just because she is more sympathetic in general than Ned is.
I'm going to be okay. I can live in a world where this has happened and people know and also we've moved on,
Right.
Like I can go on dates and not have people be whispering about me. I don't know. I just imagine a world where I could just be myself and not have this thing following me around. Where I don't have to like, where maybe we are at a restaurant with our kids and I don't have to feel shame because I'm like, having fun.
Right.
Where people are like, oh my God, are they back together?
Right.
Just because I'm like having a joyful time with my kids and my ex-husband, like.
So it's interesting how she frames that. So she does say like, I want to be in a world where I can be myself. And she's struggling to describe this moment that she's trying to frame here, because I think she's trying to find the language that she can use. See, look, he's snarling again. He's got the wincy face. But she's trying to describe the moment where she is out with her children. Remember, she uses that first. I want to be out with my children. I want to be out at dinner with my children and with you and having a joyful time and people not assume we're back together. That's the important detail here. She wants to be out with her kids and him and people not assume they're back together. Because remember, she said dating first. I want to be able to go on a date and not have people whisper. and I want to be able to not feel ashamed, right? So it's very important to her that she be able to get out from underneath him, right? It's very important to her that she still be able to go out with her children and with him, because this co-parenting thing apparently is important to her, but that people do not assume that they are together. She does not want to be associated with him anymore, other than through their children. And even then, it's more important to her that the children are having a good time. Like the children are associating the two of them, but that no one else is, right? That's a very important thing. And she needed to say that. She watches him the entire time she's saying this, because she's trying to find a way to word this so that he's not getting the wrong idea either, which I think is why she led with dating. And again, he doesn't talk much. And you'll notice that when she gets to that part, he gets real quiet again. And I don't know if he's getting real quiet because he's kind of got the snarly face going on. So I'm assuming he's getting real quiet because he doesn't like it, but it could also be he just quit listening.
Is that a crime?
Yeah.
To feel joy? Like,
Can I live?
can I live?
He has the fakest fucking laugh I've ever heard.
You know,
Let them.
let them.
Oh my God, let them. Stop. You have to read the let them theory.
Let them. Let them. Yeah. 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 I mean, we're going to Greece together next week.
Right.
It's like, life is weird sometimes.
Like, wait, yes, like we travel together. It's we have a like a familial relationship.
Yeah. 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 We've like redefined our relationship, not as partners that are romantic partners.
Yeah.
Those sort of like, family or platonic partners and pals.
That was kind of cringy. That was a little cringy there, Ned.
If you want to say
Pals.
pals. I feel the same way, that it was kind of the social communities in school or wherever you are that you kind of just start to feel less alone.
Yeah.
Where, somebody that's your friend or like another couple that you're friends with just will say like, hey, like it was shitty what you did. And also everyone goes through hard times and you move forward the best you can. And whether you are together or not, or sort of together friendly, but not romantically, like however you want to live your life as your family moving forward, that's like your business.
Right. Yeah.
And at the same time, people looking on the outside can kind of feel that nonchalance. And on the inside, it's like, what I did to you is one of the most devastating things I think that a person can experience.
So Ned says, he says a couple things. Ned says, we're like family or platonic partners. Again, redefining the language around their relationship, but she's okay with it. He throws the word pals out there. Like I said, she seems to be okay with it. She seems to want to have him in the lives of the children. They do mention that they're traveling to Greece together in the near future. They don't say why. Maybe they're just going to Greece. Whatever. I'd like to go to Greece, I think. I don't know. Is Greece nice? I've never been. Probably will never go. But he then says something to the effect of, something about friends groups and then what you did was shitty, but everyone goes through hard times. Again, he's trying to redefine shitty as normal. Saying that like all friend groups have that one group of people, that one couple that, are constantly being shitty to each other. And it's like, I'm trying to think about like back in high school, and I'm like, I don't really remember having a dating couple like that in my friend group, you know? I don't really remember that. Like, my friends dated, but when they would break up with whoever it was they were dating, we didn't typically keep them. There was, I mean, once we got out of high school, things got different, but not like this. Not like this. Things were way different when we got out of high school. Oh, high school. But still, this is not what he's describing. Still was not how it ran. So no, this isn't normal. But I don't know. Maybe your mileage may vary. But he is trying to redefine it as normal in order for this to work, right? Yeah, and then the feedback loop here, the marriage is collapsing and then being rebranded as just a quirky little friendship with some little bumps in it as part of his redemption arc, right? So this is all part of his redemption arc, right? So he's just trying to redefine his lost marriage that he fucked up with Ariel so that he can have his redemption arc. And for the most part, she seems to be playing along with it as long as he stays in the friend zone. She seems to be okay with him being in the friend zone. It's when he tries to wander outside of it that she starts to put the smack down. And I think that's fair. Because again, when he brings up the concept of family, not them being together, but family, her demeanor changes a little bit. Like, she's still very much against them being perceived as being together. We saw that when she brought up them going out to dinner with the kids. But she still seems to very much want him involved with the kids' lives. And I feel like there was there's been one or two other points in the podcast where one or the other of them have mentioned the children briefly. They haven't talked about the kids very much. They've just mentioned them in passing. But she has backed him up with whatever it was, or they backed each other up with whatever it was that they've mentioned about the kids. So they seem to be on the same page with that, which cool. Good on them, right? That means the kids aren't being used as a football between them, or, they're not using the kids against each other. Or at least it doesn't feel like that, which is good for the kids, right? In my opinion. I don't know. I could be very wrong. I don't know, but it just feels like that's not what's happening here. It feels like whatever weird shit's going on between these two, it's going on between these two, and that's that. Right? So that's what's going on there. And then we come back to Ned saying, what I did to you is devastating. Again, remember I said that there's this mantra that this ritualized mantra that he just carries through the entire podcast of, like, what I did to you is devastating. What I did to you, I know what I did was, he never said, yeah. Anyway, what was it all the way at the beginning? What was my note? I will always regret it. I will always regret it. I know what I did was devastating. I will always regret it. This is just part of that. This is an extension of that. All right, go.
Like, I understand why, broadly speaking, these like scandals are such, ignition points, because it's a lot of people can relate to it, and a lot of people feel so much pain around it.
So he says, I understand why scandals are so interesting, because a lot of people can relate. Again, this is him trying to reframe this as a universal archetype that everyone can relate to. I can't, but there's probably quite a few of you out there that can, right? A lot of people have been cheated on or betrayed or gone through divorces. I mean, it's actually fairly common. So he's not wrong. And then there are people who just like drama. Like, you're watching this. Don't try to deny it. You are watching this right now. We've already talked about this. So here we are. So he's not wrong, but he is trying to kind of he is trying to kind of normalize his behavior by doing that, right? By like, oh, well, people find it interesting and everybody kind of does it. Well, yeah, but it doesn't make it right. Like, it still doesn't make what you did any less shitty. People commit crime all the time. We still call it crime for a reason, We don't make it legal just because, people are going to commit crime. Well, what are you going to do? That's not how it works. We're wrapping the royal we. They are trying to wrap up this podcast. We aren't. They are trying to wrap up this podcast. They're getting close to the end of the podcast. And so Ned is even more so in these last few 20-ish minutes of this podcast, going into the last 10 minutes of the podcast. He is desperately trying to set up his redemption arc. Because this is the first episode of his new podcast 5 months ago. And so he is trying to rebrand desperately from this podcast, right? From what I can see, it did well. I mean, we can go look at it. We'll go look at the rest of the episodes at the end of this series. But so he's trying to set up this redemption arc feedback loop. And in doing so, here, he's trying to use this scandal that he set up, this betrayal. He's trying to show how, like, everybody does it and people love it. People love this scandal. So I get why everybody wants to, stick their nose in my business. I mean, you're not wrong, but it still doesn't make what you did right. You see? So yeah, you're normalizing it. However, societally, the reason why we're intrigued by it, especially those of us who don't do it, we're intrigued by it because it is kind of abnormal. Like, it's weird to us. It's not. Well, I mean, maybe weird's the word. It's something that we wouldn't do. So we want to know why you did. Right? It's not because we're like, oh, yeah, I totally relate to that. I don't relate to it. So I want to know why you did. Right? It's like people watch true crime. Most of us are not going to go out and commit life-ending acts of life-endingness. But we want to know why that guy did. Right? A lot of us just want to know the why. A lot of times there isn't a why, but we want to know, right? But that's why we watch that stuff. It's not because we're like into it. A lot of us just want to know why, or we want to know how, or, that kind of shit. We're morbid. Same kind of things going on here. We're not going to do this. We just want to know why you did. And mostly we want to know why you did. Because as far as I can tell, Ariel's pretty awesome. So I don't know what the fuck was wrong with you, dude. But, there's been a lot of studies now that have come out about, men who cheat specifically. It's usually not about, it's most of the time has nothing to do with the home life. It's almost always about the guy himself. So in the long run, it had nothing to do with Ariel. She seems to be pretty cool, and she could have been like the bestest, coolest, most awesomest person on the planet. And Ned was still going to cheat because it had everything to do with Ned, nothing to do with her.
And it can be both.
It can be both, yeah.
And it can be both at the same time. It can be both at different times. Mm. And it can be one thing one day and something different another day. I have some days when I hate your guts. And, and there are other days when I enjoy your company more.
And then there's other days when I tolerate the fact that you breathe. I'm sorry. It's just the way she's... It's just the way she set that up. There's days where I hate your guts. And he's like, and then other days I just tolerate the fact that you're alive still. I know that's not what she said, but she was thinking it. And he knows it too. He was like, oh shit. Okay, sorry.
More than not.
Okay, well, never mind. Play that back one more time. Never mind. Let's hear that whole thought.
And, there are other days when I enjoy your company more than not.
Never mind. She's got a very sharp tongue in a very polite way. I like the way Ariel Fulmer talks. She is a masterclass in how to eviscerate someone without ever raising your voice. Okay? This woman is amazing. And I don't know if it's just because these two have been married for however long they were married and she just knows how to talk to him, or if she's always like this, but holy shit. She's amazing. Look at her looking at him too. It's so good. Oh, God. I'm sorry this has taken me 5 months to get through. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It can be both.
It can be both.
Can be both ways. Look at his face. It can be both. You can hate my guts and sometimes you don't want me completely dead, I guess.
Some days are really sad because I feel the loss. But other days, I feel a lot of gratitude and joy for where we're at now.
Mm.
Especially, our kids are awesome.
Yeah, they are.
All right, we're going to stop here. We're going to pick up there on the next video. So yeah, we'll leave with Ned smiling. He seems to like his kids. That's good. I like that. Okay. I like that they like their kids, or at least they seem to care about their kids. I'm always concerned about that. We had some more strategic victimhood from Ned trying to kind of reframing himself as being like wounded but relatable. It was a lot of soft victimhooding here because they weren't really talking about too much. That was a lot in the last episode. We do have some transactional altruism going on here because we've got a lot of, now remember, this entire podcast is a transaction between Ned and Ariel because Ned set it up this way all the way back where he did his little apology segment all the way back before the podcast even started. And he says something to the effect of like, I forget exactly what the wording was, but he was like, the least I can do is witness her pain or something like that. Thereby setting up the transaction, right? And this podcast is Ned's gift to Ariel, right? That's how this has been set up. He is gifting Ariel the chance to go at him on live internet. I don't know if this was not live. But that's how he set this up, right? So this whole thing has been a transaction. In this section specifically, he constantly asks her various questions about how she feels and then tries to build off of those feelings in a way that kind of builds the legitimacy of his feelings as well. And so that's another form of transaction that's going on here. We, of course, the ritualistic deception continuing throughout, as I put in there. There does seem to be some like line blurring that's going on with the whole like everyone cheats and no one in society really doesn't really bother anybody, and everybody's got those friends that are on again, off again, or like they've done something shitty, but you all put up with it anyway. Do we all have those friends? But yeah, he's trying to like blur those lines and redefine those concepts. And he's doing that so that he doesn't look as bad as he looks, right? And then, of course, we have the self-mythologizing feedback loop, which is a complicated concept only because it requires the participation of the audience, which Ned is very concerned about. But he is throughout this entire segment and throughout the whole episode, but we're really starting to see it here. And I bet you will see it really, really strongly in the next 10 minutes, where he is setting up his redemption arc, or he's trying to set up his redemption arc. And early in this 10 minutes that we were going over here, he was trying to set up a little bit of a, will they, won't they get back together? And she was like, no. So and she's been real good about that. She doesn't waffle. Every time he's kind of done that, she's been like, no. Oh. So he did try a little bit there to kind of like feel that out again. And she was like, no. But he does try to kind of set up this little bit of a redemption arc for himself. Not, well, once that got shot down, not necessarily with them getting back together, but like them being, we'll redefine our relationship. We're no longer romantically partners, but we're still family. We're still friends that hang out. He's still trying to redefine their relationship, but as them still together. But I just don't feel like he's let her go. Like in his head, I still feel like he uses language that keeps them together, like keeps her as a part of him. Because I just don't think he's ever let her go. Again, 5 months ago, he has a dating profile now. Still doesn't mean he's let Ariel go. It just means he's dating. Happens all the time. So, all right, that was minutes 40 through 45. I think we're actually on 45. 40 through 50. I think we're actually at 51. Nope, not yet. So we're almost done. We are almost done, I promise you. All right, so, hey, look at that. It works. So if you guys have made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave I don't know, what have we talked about for this one? Go ahead and leave the flag of Greece, because they're going to go to Greece. Leave the flag of Greece down in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys have those friends? I mean, I'm sure somebody does. I mean, those people exist. So did you have those friends who were like the problem children of the friend group? Tell me about it, I guess, if you want to. If you can, don't dox people. The internet is not a safe space. Do not share information. But yeah, let me know about that down below. I don't know. Do you guys have, I mean, surely some of you are divorced. Do you guys have this kind of a relationship with your exes? Do some of you know where the bodies are buried? And, that's kind of a thing. It's just an interesting concept to me. Have you seen Ned's dating profile? Don't spoil it for me. But what did you think? I know he has a mustache. I'm very excited. We've only got, the podcast is hour and 8 minutes. We're at 50 minutes, which means we've got 18 minutes left, which it means 2 more episodes of this. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm enjoying the fuck out of it. I love Ariel. I think she's amazing. She's at least funny. He's getting a little more animated. I'm not going to lie. He's getting a little more animated the closer to the end of this we're getting. Or at least he was animated in these last 10 minutes. Or these last 10 minutes here. But, all right. So, yes, your emoji is the flag of Greece. I have asked the follow-up questions that I am going to ask. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who's gonna hit the thumbs up. Did I already say that? And I will see everybody in the next video. Bye.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.